What if Africa's next big leap came from a landlocked nation betting on the continent's largest airport and its very first nuclear power plant? These are not distant fantasies. They are Ethiopia's real blueprint for turbocharging trade, travel, and clean energy. As one of Africa's fastest-growing economies, Ethiopia is aiming to become the ultimate hub, attracting flights, factories, and new power for millions. Yet with massive costs and high risks, will these projects soar or stumble? Let us break it down chapter by chapter and explore what is driving this bold vision. Chapter 1. Ethiopia's Big Leap. Ethiopia is not just dreaming small. For years, it has been Africa's fastest-growing economy, driven by coffee exports and manufacturing booms. But here is the thing. To keep that momentum, the country needs serious upgrades in travel and power. Right now, Addis Ababa's Bole International Airport handles about 17 million passengers a year, which is packed, causing delays and missed connections. And on the energy side, over 60% of Ethiopians still lack reliable electricity, holding back factories, schools, and even hospitals. Enter Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's bold playbook. Fresh off finishing the massive Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, Abiy is eyeing these new giants to make Ethiopia a true leader. The airport could turn the country into Africa's aviation boss, cutting out those long, pricey detours through Dubai or Europe. The nuclear plant? It is a game changer for clean, steady energy that does not rely on rainy seasons or imported fuels. But what do these projects look like up close? Let us zoom in. Chapter 2. The mega airport that's set to eclipse them all. Okay. Let us talk about the airport first, because who does not love a good takeoff story? Ethiopia plans to build Bishoftu International Airport, a brand new greenfield wonder right in Abiara, about 40 kilometers south of Addis Ababa. This is designed to be Africa's largest, with 4 massive runways and space for over 60 million passengers a year at launch. That is right, 60 million. For context, that is more than double what Johannesburg's OR Tambo handles today, and it could grow to a whopping 110 million by the 2040s. The whole thing is a $10 billion beast led by state-owned Ethiopian Airlines. They are teaming up with the African Development Bank, which just pledged $500 million in loans back in August 2025 to kick things off. The goal? Make travel across Africa as easy as a quick hop. Want to fly from Nairobi to Lagos without circling the globe? This could make it happen, boosting tourism, trade, and jobs for tens of thousands. Could this put Ethiopia on the map like Dubai did for the Middle East? Ethiopian Airlines thinks so. They are already the top airline for intra-African flights. Construction's ramping up now, with designs locked in and financing flowing. By 2030, they aim to have it humming as the ultimate gateway. Exciting, right? But to power all that buzz, Ethiopia needs more than jet fuel. Chapter 3. The nuclear plant that could light up a continent. Now shift gears to something even more futuristic, Ethiopia's first nuclear power plant. This one has got that high-stakes thriller vibe, clean energy from atoms, in a country that is mostly powered by rivers and diesel right now. In September 2025, Ethiopian leaders jetted to Moscow and inked a huge action plan with Russia's Rosatom, the global nuclear power. It is a roadmap to build what could be 2 reactors, each pumping out about 1,200 megawatts. That is enough juice to light up major cities and run industries non-stop. Why nuclear? Ethiopia's energy demand is exploding. Hydropower is great, but droughts hit hard, and solar or wind cannot always keep up 24/7. Nuclear promises steady, green power for the long haul, cutting carbon emissions and slashing those pricey fuel imports. The timeline is ambitious. Construction may start in a few years, with reactors online by 2032 or 2034. They are even setting up the Ethiopian Nuclear Energy Commission this October to train locals and build safety nets. It is part of a whopping $30 billion energy overhaul, blending nuclear with renewables. Imagine Ethiopian kids growing up in a world where blackouts are ancient history. So, how's Ethiopia paying for all this without breaking the bank? Chapter 4. Who is chipping in for these mega moves? Pulling off projects this size is not cheap, but Ethiopia's playing it smart with a mix of homegrown grit and global buddies. For the airport, Ethiopian Airlines is front and center. They are using profits from their record-breaking plane orders to seed the pot. The African Development Bank's $500 million is a cornerstone, and they have tapped US support too. On the nuclear front, Russia is all in with Rosatom handling tech and financing talks. No full dollar figure yet, but it is woven into that $30 billion green energy push, likely blending loans, grants, and Ethiopian bonds. The government is floating its currency and opening banks to foreigners, making it easier to attract cash. And get this, they are roping in local players, like training programs that create Ethiopian jobs instead of just importing experts. It is a "we build it together" vibe, reducing debt risks while locking in partnerships. Curious question: will this model inspire other African nations to team up like this? Chapter 5. The Thrilling Possibilities. What wins could Ethiopia score? Let us dream big for a second. If these projects land, Ethiopia could unlock a treasure chest. The airport alone might create 100,000 jobs in construction, then millions more in tourism and logistics, hotels popping up, cargoes zipping to Europe faster, even e-commerce warehouses for Amazon wannabes. Trade could surge 20 to 30%, knitting Africa closer under the African Union's big plans. And nuclear? Steady power means factories humming, schools lit at night, and electric buses charging up, slashing poverty from its current 43% bite and fueling GDP growth to 8 to 10% yearly. Picture Addis Ababa as Africa's Silicon Valley meets Singapore, skyscrapers, green parks, and conference centers drawing investors. It is not just about money, it is about empowerment. Women running airport cafes, engineers from rural villages mastering reactors. Ethiopia has already cut poverty in half since 2000. This could turbocharge that. And regionally, better flights mean easier peace talks, shared tech, and a united front against climate woes. But no story is complete without the plot twists. Chapter 6. Challenges that could ground the dream. Ethiopia has hurdles taller than its Simian mountains. Internal stuff first. Ethnic tensions in places like Amhara and Oromia have sparked clashes, slowing aid and scaring investors. Poverty's up too, with food prices squeezing families amid a floated currency. Then there is the neighborhood drama. Egypt is fuming over the dam, Eritrea is eyeing old border beef, and that Somaliland port deals for sea access. It is genius for trade, but risks stirring war drums. For the projects, nuclear safety is non-negotiable. Ethiopia needs top training to avoid any Chernobyl whispers. Airport delays could balloon costs if conflicts disrupt supply chains. And climate, droughts might test that new power mix. But here is the hopeful bit. Abiy's team is tackling it head-on with peace deals, anti-corruption drives, and community buy-in. It is tough, but Ethiopia has bounced back before, from ancient kingdoms to modern marvels. Chapter 7. What does this mean for Ethiopia and us? So, where does this leave us? These projects are not just concrete and cables. They are Ethiopia betting on itself to lead Africa into a brighter, connected tomorrow. If they soar, expect a domino effect. More hubs, more clean energy across the continent. If not, lessons for everyone on balancing ambition with reality. Either way, it is inspiring to watch a nation say, "We've got this." What do you think? Will Ethiopia pull off the impossible? Drop your thoughts below. If this peek into Africa's bold future sparked your curiosity, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more stories that matter. Thanks for joining the adventure.